All right, so today I'm going to spend some time on this 97 Altima. This is my son's car. We've got a problem that seems to happen when the weather gets cold, say like below 40 degrees. We will smell gas outside of the car. Today the temperature is mid 60s, low to mid 60s, and we're not smelling the smell now. No gas smell. But when we smell the gas and we try to start the car, it doesn't want to start. It will start eventually, but we'll have to crank it for a while. And so what that's telling me is the fuel rail on the engine is not maintaining pressure. So there's not enough fuel pressure getting to the injectors to work properly. And so there's just a slight leak, enough to make a smell, but it's not enough to where the pump can build up enough pressure to start the car, and consequently it doesn't run great. It runs fine. I mean, you can drive around and I don't feel like you're gonna get stranded or anything, but you can tell that it's running rougher, sluggisher, whatever, because of the lower pressure on the fuel line. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna investigate everything. First of all, the top rail, I turned the engine on several times to run the fuel pump to put pressure on the fuel line, and I smelled around and I'm not smelling any gas smells. I wish it was colder, it would help, because like I said, we're only smelling this in cold weather, but still I should see some indication of a leak. Most of the hoses up here have been replaced already for the fuel lines, and I'm not seeing any indications of leaks anywhere, clean spots where the gas was escaping. So I think the top of the engine's okay. So I've already looked at that. The next thing that we looked at was the gas cap. Was the gas cap loose, and that was causing the smell, but that would not explain the fuel pressure. Pressure on the gas tank does not affect the rail pressure, at least not enough to matter. So the leak has got to be between the fuel pump and the gas tank. The fuel pump submerged in the gas tank. It's got to be between the gas tank, fuel pump, and the engine. It won't be the return line. There's also a return line. So if you look at this, here's the input for the rail, the fuel rail. Okay, the gas from the gas tank comes through this filter, comes into this line, pressurizes this rail. Okay, and here's your injectors, the 4 injectors, and then this thing here is pressure regulator. If this was failing, that would explain it, but I don't see any indications of leaking or anything. I don't think it's that. And plus, if it was leaking internally or something weird, then it wouldn't make a smell. So I kind of pretty sure that's not it. So, and then here's the return line. This is a low pressure side. This thing allows pressure to build up on this side where the rail is and where the injectors are, but on this side on the return, it's just low pressure. So it's not going to be on the return line. It's got to be on the line between the pump and the tank and the engine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jack the car up. I'm going to crawl under there and I'm going to inspect the fuel lines. Some of it, I'm not exactly sure what to expect, but what I do think it's going to be is part of the lines are going to be metal and part are going to be rubber, and I'm going to focus on the rubber pieces. Now the metal ones could have a rust hole causing the leak, so I'll look at that as well, but I'm assuming it's a rubber hose. So let me get under there and get started. Now that I'm under the car, I do smell some gas, very light smell of gas. So confident the problem is back here somewhere. All right, so ignore this. This is the brake line. I've got 3 lines that go up towards the gas tank. Not sure why we need 3 of them. I was expecting only 2. I don't know what the other one is. Maybe for the EGR system. I don't know where that would be mounted at. Not the EGR system, the EVAP. Sorry. The EVAP system. Not sure where that canister assembly is going to be, or what this car has even. So that could also be a contributing factor, because the pump is going to supply pressure to it, I would assume. And so, but at any rate, I'm smelling a little bit of gas smell under here. Not smelling it up above or around the engine, so these 3 hoses are my primary suspect. So I'm going to get my son to get in the car in a minute, and we're going to turn the key on and pressurize the system and see if we can smell something or see something. Yeah, I'm really smelling it now that the wind has shifted. So something in this area is leaking. Maybe the gas tank, but again, the gas tank not holding pressure I don't think is going to be the problem. Also, the gas cap is holding pressure. I loosened it before I started, and it did have a little bit of pressure on it. I wouldn't have expected much in cold temperatures or cool temperatures. So anyway, yeah, this is the primary suspects right now. I'll keep you posted. I had my son go underneath, and he didn't smell much, so we pulled the seats out in the rear here, and there's our problem. There's your problem, lady. That hose there is definitely leaking. We turned the fuel pump on, and it's so seeping out. So that's why we're losing pressure. So I'm going to replace both of those hoses, and that should solve the problem. Let me get started on that, and I'll be back when we're done putting it back together. Okay, so the hoses we need to replace go across the entire top, almost the entire top of the gas tank. So we're going to have to lower the front part of the gas tank down to get some clearance. And there's 3 straps that hold the gas tank in place. And so you have 3 different bolts here. I've got to remove all 3 of these straps. They have to be removed from the back because the front has pins, and so they're not supposed to be removed there. You remove all 3 of these, and they fall down, and then the tank becomes just hanging, you know, free floating. So I got the jack, the floor jack underneath the gas tank as centralized as I can do it until I remove that center strap, and then I'll move it over a little bit more. So remove the center strap first, center the gas tank. Remove the other 2 straps, and it's best not to have a full tank of gas. I think we have a half tank. It's more than I would like, but we're going to have to deal with it. And I'm going to lower the front down. Now, we got to be careful that the front goes down and not the rear, because we have the fuel line here where the gas filler line is. We've got this rubber hose. So I don't want to break or mess with that. You can see where it clamps there. I'm going to try to do this without removing that. I think I can get away with it, but we'll just have to find out. So that's what we're doing now. So we had a little bit of an incident happen. I started to jack the back of the gas tank up to get it ready so I could remove the other straps. And once I jacked it up an inch or so, the other line that we didn't disconnect, the return line, which actually was the pressure line, we didn't know that at the time. Well, no, it was the return line. It just started flowing gas like crazy, and it just kept going and going. And so what happened was it started a siphon effect. Once the gas started flowing, it just kept going and just was dumping gas. So I had to rush in inside the car real quick and remove the low pressure feedback line, return line, to stop the leak. And removing the gas cap and things like that didn't stop it. So just when you do this job, if you ever do this job, make sure you remove both lines from the gas tank. Okay, not just one, but both of them. And because it just went crazy. So just keep that in mind. So I'm back under the car here. We got 2 jacks, floor jacks going on here. Got a smaller one with a piece of wood centered on the back side. I'm going to put the other one on the front. This is the other one here. Put it on the front. I'm going to go ahead and remove. You'll notice that one of the straps is already off. I've got it right here. Whoop, right there. That's the middle strap. I'm going to remove the other 2 straps, and I'm going to then lower the front down just enough so we can get those hoses out of there. Right now they're crushed kind of in between the gas tank and the frame, I guess, or the bottom of the floor pan. So yeah, we're going to try to lower the fuel tank just enough to feed out the old ones and feed in the new ones. So here we go. So we lowered the gas tank several inches, and we could reach up in there. And what we discovered was there is a metal piece of pipe on top of the gas tank. So there's small rubber hose sections on each side. And because I don't want to drop the entire gas tank, we've decided we're just going to bypass the bad hose with a long about a 2.5 foot length, 3 foot, something like that. We don't know the exact measurement, but we got a long piece of hose here, and we're just going to feed it. And we're going to bypass the bad hose and the metal pipe that's there, and just use rubber hose the whole way. I'm sure there's a reason why they did it that way, but you know what? Sometimes you just have to engineer around problems. So that's what we're fixing to do. I'm fixing to feed this hose up from underneath and feed it to my son, who's going to be inside on the top, and he's going to be lining it up, and then I'm going to cut Got some cutters here. I'm going to be cutting it to length to what we need, and then we're just going to clamp it in. I'll be back. Okay, it's gotten dark on us, but we did get the gas tank back set in, and I've got all the hoses clamped down good, and we pressure tested the hoses, and there's no more leaks or seeping. The car started. Now, it didn't start immediately because we didn't have fuel in the lines, but after we get the car back together now, we're gonna restart it and make sure that it starts immediately, which it should. And like I said, this was a lingering problem we've had. It's probably gonna be a lot better now. So he's in the process of putting the seats in. I'm gonna help him, and I'll be back for the final verdict. Everything's back together, and we're gonna see if it'll start quickly now. It should start just normal. Yep, that's perfect. That's exactly how it always started when it was running well. Engine is cold, but even cold, it's running nice and smooth. It's not vibrating or nothing. So the fuel problem is probably resolved. So now we're gonna go test drive it, but that is the end of this video. The last thing I guess I should say is the straps for the gas tank, those have to be, we torqued them to 35 foot-pounds. That's what we found online. Did not use the manual for that, so if it's wrong, then I can go back and tighten it. I'll check later, but 35 foot-pounds is what we used. All right, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.